You will typically always see me using pre-frozen foods, and I do that for a couple reasons. One, it lessens the time that that food is going to have to be in the freeze dryer because the freeze dryer freezes the food before it starts the cycle. Two, some foods have been known to kind of explode in the freeze dryer, and typically that's liquids, high sugar foods, things like that. Three, I'm often working in large bulk batches. So I will either chop and freeze or slice and freeze. And then if I don't get these into the freeze dryer within a couple days, they get bagged up into freezer bags and they stay in my freeze dryer or in my freezer, and I know that they're meant for my freeze dryer. Parchment paper, cookie sheets, if you need to, and I do with some things, but with these peaches, I'm just gonna take a spatula and kind of scoop them off and put them on my trolley. If there are big chunks, I'll just kind of break them up a little bit so that they're individual pieces. Some of the more common questions I get about freeze drying, how do I eat this food? It depends on what it is. For fruits, we are typically eating it in its freeze-dried state. It's a great snack. Put it on yogurt. You can also rehydrate it to bake with it, or like if you're making blueberry muffins or fruit muffins, you can just put the freeze-dried fruit straight into your batter to add a little bit of water to compensate because it's going to rehydrate in the batter. So I really found that we were actually using our freeze dryer a lot more than I thought we would for food that we are eating immediately, food going into our layer 1 pantry. We do use it primarily for our layer 2 and layer 3 pantry. Let's see, some other common freeze dry questions. How to rehydrate food. There's a lot of different methods. I typically just kind of play around and add water slowly until it's the consistency I want. Some people weigh trays and then that's the amount of water. That's too much work for me. I'm not gonna do that. Another, just kind of, should I get a freeze dryer? Question is, you need to really figure out for yourself, one, what am I using the freeze dryer for? Two, is it going to be economical for me to purchase a freeze dryer and be freeze drying on my own versus just buying freeze dried food? It's a math equation. Like, sit down and figure out what your prep goals are and then add that up over time to decide if getting a freeze dryer is right for you.